So, to make this interesting, I'm going to be shuffling these up, and I'll be splitting them in half. You can just do that very easily in Tabletop Sim. And one's 140 and one's 141, so I will take the 140 and be able to get the 141. And I'm going to start going, because I know that B builds decks faster than I do. I figured that would be a reasonable thing to do. Alright, Treasure Trackers. Treasure Trackers is a Gruul Dwarf. I really shouldn't go too much into detail, or I will be here all day. So let's just start looking through and seeing what colors we've got. I do know, because I have gone through the entire set already myself, to weed out all the cards that were not useful, that Gruul Dwarves is kind of a thing. There's a lot of really interesting Gruul Dwarves. And what's interesting to me about this is that I tried to make 5 two-color factions, and Dwarves were red-white in that thing, which means I think there's a really interesting, like, red-white-green deck, probably. Or you could just use the red cards from the red-white Dwarves, probably. So, gotta keep that in mind. This one is a 2-mana 1/2. ETB, you get to pull a... is it any card? Right, it basically mills for 6, and then you can take one of those 6 cards and put it into your hand. You can also untap Dwarves, such as itself, to give something +2/+0. So I think this card is really, really cool. There's no number of times you can do that either, so you can just like massively pump one thing. You have my Merfolk. Target Merfolk you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Let me just center this a bit better. Yeah, great. So tap Merfolk gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Not terrible, but probably not very good either. Obnixilis Bishop of Secrets, 3-mana Dwarf Artificer. Alright, taps for white or blue. Great. And target creature gains Vigilance until end of turn. So, 2 different options. Pretty cool. I like it. Galvanic Genius, 4-mana Merfolk Wizard. This is going to go in our... We're probably going to make a vanilla pile, honestly, just because there's a lot of vanillas in this set. Rally the Corral, 1 mana, target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn, create a 1/1 blue. Okay. That's kind of cool, I like that. Inquisitor's Judgment, 3 mana, green, choose 1, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 3 target creatures. Target player mills 3 cards. I like it, I think it's good. Bloodhorn Marauder is a... Let me actually make a little color pie here. I'm going to put red over here or something. Bloodhorn Marauder is a 5-mana Merfolk Warrior. It's a 3/4. When it enters the battlefield, sack it unless you return a green or blue creature you control to its owner's hand. That makes this effectively vanilla. It's vanilla but worse in most situations. So that's fun. Champion of Hagra is a 1-mana 1/1. ETB, you may return a land. Again, that's basically, yeah, you control. If it was anyone's land, that would be pretty good. Stentia Brute, 2-mana 2/3. Okay, we got another Gruul. That's fun. Vigilance, whenever Stentia Brute attacks, sack it at the end of combat. If you do, search your library for up to 2 dwarf cards. Reveal them, put them into your hand. It's a tutor for dwarves. It's really cool. I like it a lot. Ancient Ogre is a 1-mana green instant. Search your library for 3 green creatures. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. I'm liking red-green so far. Carrion Feast, 3-mana instant. Gain life equal to the number of black creatures you control. Okay. And create a 1/1 black goblin creature token. When you do, return Carrion Feast from your graveyard to your hand. I believe this would create a 1/1. And then it would fail to return it from the graveyard to your hand because it's not in the graveyard. I believe that's how that would work. I could be wrong. I'm not a rules judge. Let's put black down here. Oops. Move that over. Cloudcaller Initiate, Fairy Warrior, flying. Okay, flying's good. Whenever a fairy you control attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. Nice. If you do, return it to your hand at the beginning of your next end step. Presumably it is the land, not the fairy. I'm not sure. I'd have to get confirmation on this. Otherwise, still finds you a land. It's just goes into your hand instead of going onto the battlefield. by the time you can actually use it. Weird. Durger, first to spread fears. Ooh. It's a 3-mana Eldrazi drone. 3/3, devoid, flying. When Durger, first to spread fears, enters the battlefield, you may exile another colorless card from your hand. So, lands count as colorless, right? I believe that's true. If you do create a 1/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn creature token, it can sack to add colorless. I quite like that. 3-mana, 3/3 with flying. Yeah, it's got flying too. Yeah, rad. Okay. That's looking great. That's a cool card. Cowl and Horn. 2-mana instant. Destroy target non-creature permanent you don't control. That can be a land. Its controller gets a 1/1 green fairy creature token. Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. I like that. Rhystic Absolution. 2-mana white instant. You gain 4 life. You gain 5 life instead if you control a white creature. It's probably not good enough. Kalog Guardian. 2-mana human cleric. Prevent the next 1 damage that would be dealt to any target this turn. Okay. Nature's Prophet. Green Kithkin. 1/1. Target green creature you control gets +1/+1 to on turn. So it's like that other one, but it's green only. Color of the Beak. 3-mana Merfolk Wizard. Sorry. Color of the Beak. 3-mana Merfolk Wizard. It's a 3/2. It has trample. Not bad. When it enters the battlefield, return up to 1 target Merfolk you control. Okay. I think that's still probably good. That's a 3-mana 3/2 with trample. It's a May ability to return, I believe. Yeah. Well, it's not a May, but it is up to, and up to can include 0. Okay. Not terrible. This is... Let me just move this out of the way. Put this in the middle here. Pie. Jiraga Cenobian. 3-mana human cleric. White and tap. Tap target creature. Doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Now that's pretty good. You can freeze every turn. Fenscalar Cleric. A 1-mana 1/1. Kithkin spells cost 1 less to cast. Ooh, nice. Okay, are we going Kithkins? Unkind Boggart is a Boggart, not a goblin. Oops. Oops, that was supposed to be a goblin. 5-mana 3/4. When it enters the battlefield, you may return a creature from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, okay, that's actually useful. I thought it was just going to be another bounce spell. Not bad. Not bad, but I don't think I'm going to play it. Especially since it's a Boggart, not a goblin. Which does limit its ability to do things. Moldiah Hero. 4-mana Merfolk Soldier. When Moldiah Hero enters the battlefield or attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card. Put it directly onto the battlefield tapped. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, that's pretty good. It's also an EDP, right? Yeah, so it's not even like 4 mana do nothing and only gets to do its thing on attack. That's not bad at all. Spring and Summer. 1 blue for an instant. Draw a card. You can splice it onto Spring Skull, which means as you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may reveal this card from your hand and pay its splice cost. I don't see a splice cost if you ask me. I think it's free. If you do... Okay, so maybe that's not. Maybe I'm wrong about this. I originally looked at this card and ruled that, like, well, it doesn't have a splice cost. So, it's 0. But, like, if a spell doesn't have a cost, you can't pay 0 to cast it, right? You have to find some other way to cast it. So, it's entirely possible that, like, this isn't 0 mana, this is null, and null means you can't pay null. Huh. This card's super busted if you can just splice it for free on every single instant sorcery. But I kind of love that. I think it's a really cool idea for a spell. Anyway. We'll put it over here. Wait, was this a vanilla pile? No, okay. Kralin Horde Gorger. Whenever you cast a black spell, Kralin Horde Gorger gains Death Touch until end of turn. Okay. Tormentor's Insight. 2-mana instant. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a red or white creature card from among them into your hand. Okay. And the rest on the bottom of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, it gains haste. Exile to the beginning of the next end step. Wait. Wait, how's that work? It goes into your hand. I think it's one of those things where it's like, instead of saying exile it, and you may cast it from exile, it says it goes into your hand, and then it gets exiled from hand if you don't play it. I think it's the same as impulse drawing, basically. Okay, cool. Oh, we don't even have a red pile yet. Let's just get that real quick. Heavyweight Dwarf is a 2-mana 2/2 dwarf. Whenever it blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, put a 1/1 counter on that creature. Let's just put you actually over here instead. That's like the bad pile, not the vanilla pile. Battle Gudgeon is a 2-mana 1/2 with flying. Whenever Battle Gudgeon attacks, it deals 1 damage to any target. That's great. Teferi's Tracker. A 1-mana 1/1 green merfolk. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Oh, that's dang. That's good. I like that. Ooh. Ooh. Humble Kithkin. 1-mana 1/1 vanilla. That's perfect. Shame the AI does not know what a Kithkin looks like. That's really funny. Avon Soulgraph. 4-mana Merfolk Warrior. When Avon Soulgraph enters the battlefield, enters the battlefield, you may return another target Merfolk you control to its owner's hand. Great. Vanilla, effectively. Moorland Courier. 3-mana 3/3 with Death Touch. It's green. ETB, you may exile target creature you control, then return it to your hand. So it returns it to your hand. Cool. It's still a 3-mana 3/3 with Death Touch, which is not nothing. Baron's Appeal. 1 white for an instant, exile the top card of your library. You may put it into your graveyard. Okay. Rise of the Dwarves. 2-mana. Exile target red creature, sorry. If it was a dwarf, put a 1/1 counter on it. But it's exiled, so who cares? Otherwise, return it to its owner's hand. So this is actually a really cool card, right? Like, this card was generated because of dwarves. You'd think it would go into dwarf tribal, but it's actually anti-dwarf. But even if it's not anti-dwarf, it's a bounce. I love it. I think it's a cool card. Goblin Sleeper is a 1-mana 1/1 goblin. For 2 mana, return Goblin Sleeper from your graveyard to your hand. Activate only if an opponent lost life this turn. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's kind of expensive, but yeah, I like it. Shimmering Sentience is a 1-mana white instant. You gain 2 life. Then create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token. That's not terrible. Doesn't have flying, unfortunately. Cloud Scraper Runner. 2-mana Merfolk Warrior with Defender. It's a 2/2. When it attacks, create a 1/1 green Merfolk creature token. If you can give this Defender, it becomes really good. Which I think is a really interesting design. Like, if you were playing a set in which giving things Defender... Like, if this was in Dominaria United, for example. And there's that one card that can give a Defender haste, and this can attack as though it didn't have Defender. Because I think that probably a 2-mana 2/2 that whenever it attacks makes a 1/1 is probably too strong. So the idea of, like... I like the design of this card a lot, actually. I think this card's actually really well designed, but I don't think it has any support in the set, so it's not, like, useful. Anyway, yeah, that's cool. I'm going to put it over here. Talia's Lieutenant is a 5-mana human warrior. They're a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, you may return a land to its owner's hand. Land you control, of course, so vanilla. Militia Cohort is a 2-mana instant. Choose 1. Create a 1/1 white Kithkin. Put a 1/1 counter on each Kithkin you control. Kithkin Tribal. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. So I think this card's really cool. You're probably never going to use it for the first mode, but, you know, maybe. You know, you might be in a situation where it's like, I just want an extra body. It's worth it to me because it has 2 other modes. Like, you wouldn't put a 2-mana 1/1 in your deck, but you might put a 2-mana 1/1 that could be these other 2 modes in your deck. I could see that. But it's cool, right? You can either just use it as a generic pump for all your creatures, or if you have a lot of Kithkins, you can get them to stick around forever because they're counters now. I think this card's actually really well designed. Go on, Squirrel is a 2-mana instant. It's red, it has a kicker of 2, and destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. If it was a goblin, it gained haste until end of turn. I don't know what gained means. Like, it gained it before it died, I guess. But it's still dead now. And the kicker does nothing. It's just a 2-mana kill spell. Pretty good, actually. Burn Piercer is a 2-mana dwarf. It's a 1/2. When it enters the battlefield, if you gain... when Burn Piercer enters the battlefield, you may have Burn Piercer do 2 damage to any target. That's kind of like the inverse of that heal one, huh? But better. Nice. I see Piexa... I don't know how to pronounce your name, I'm realizing. Piexa Dovento says Consolation Prize in response to the it gained haste. I imagine that's what that's referring to. Welcome in. Good to see you. Kithkin Courier is a 2-mana Kithkin Cleric. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile a creature you control. So, not good, but it's a May ability. Maybe it gets better. You pronounce it Peishi. Cool. Peishi Dovento? Nice. When Kithkin, enters the battlefield, 2-mana tap, return a creature card you control, exiled with Kithkin Courier to its owner's hand. So, you could, like, hide something away, I guess? Like, you play it and exile something, and then later you can pay 2 and tap it to put it back in your hand. It's just put it back into your hand with more steps. I can't think of any time that would be relevant, but good for you, I guess. Wild Slumber, 3-mana instant. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Okay, it doesn't have to be yours. That's good. Then create a 2/2 green and blue fractal. That's great. I don't know why there's a fractal here, but yeah. Nice. Razorclaw Goblin is a 4-mana 3/3 Goblin Warrior. Whenever Razorclaw Goblin becomes blocked by a creature, it deals 1 damage to that creature. Yeah, nice. Not too shabby. Where am I? Here. Smoldering Cinder is a 3-mana Fairy Soldier. When Smoldering Cinder dies, each player discards a card. Okay. Disturb for 2. You may cast this card from your graveyard, transformed for its disturb cost. I believe, and this might be debated by V when we start playing, but I would say that if you disturb a creature that has no backside, it would enter and fail to transform and just be on its front side. In the same way that if you transform a token version of a werewolf, it would just fail to flip. But that is a personal opinion. I don't know. Thank you so much, Peishi. That is, yeah, a good point about how I'm blocking. Let me see if I can. I'm not sure if that's being blocked or not. Should be fine. Yes. Okay, good. Thank you for that. Make the video better for the YouTube watchers. Smoldering Cinder is a 3-mana Fairy Soldier. When it dies, discard, and you get to discard. I like this card. I think this card's cool. Is that flying? It doesn't. A lot of the fairies in the set don't have flying. Wildwood Fairy is a 4-mana Elf Shaman, not a fairy. It's a 2/2. When it deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it. Okay, great. For 2 mana and tap, destroy target creature. It can't. Wow, this card's great. Yeah, just you get to kill a thing every turn. That's really good. Put you down here. Very good. Frost Blossom Shaman is a 3-mana Kithkin Shaman. Choose a land you control, or sorry, tap. Choose a land you control. Whenever Frost Blossom Shaman deals damage to an opponent this turn, return that land to its owner's hand. So not only would that be difficult to pull off because you have to, like, tap it. I guess you could, like, set up a block and then tap, and then you would deal damage. Oh, to an opponent. Yeah, I have no idea how you'd even pull this off. But even if you manage to pull it off, it's bad. So that's good. We like that. Alright. Janine, Captain of the Keep, is a 3-mana human shaman with Death Touch. It's a 2/2. Whenever a player casts a spell, that player loses 1 life. Whenever a player casts a spell that targets you, draw a card. Cool. So it's a symmetrical effect, but if something targets you, you get to draw a card. So I don't know how many spells like target players. It seems, I guess, like damage would, but that's an interesting effect.
Hello.
Yeah, so B's here. So if you just join the table, you can sit down and you have 141 cards to try to make your best 40-card deck with. It's only a little bit more than sealed, right? Only a little bit more than sealed. I figured you'll make a deck faster than I will anyway, so I figured I would just get started early.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let's get another set of ads running, actually. Alright, where was I? I'll be muting again so I can talk about cards. Rally the Horde is a 1-mana instant. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Tap up to 2 target creatures. Those creatures gain haste until end of turn. Yeah, great. So that's a weird spell, but it doesn't seem bad. It's just kind of odd. It's quite good. Tap 2 up to 2 target creatures. Get through with your blocks. Grave Strength is a 4-mana 3/3 with flash. Nice. When it enters the battlefield, return a green or white creature you control to its own. This is the one time I think that effect is actually relevant because it has flash. So you could do some shenanigans where you're like, you save somebody from dying with it, right? Like, that's actually relevant when it has flash. Very cool. Purglet is a 2-mana instant. It's devoid. Choose a color. Choose target creature an opponent controls. It gets -X/-X until end of turn, where X is the number of creatures of that color that player controls. What an interesting design for a card. I think that's really cool. It's not exceptionally, like, it's just yeah, no, it's just a cool way of doing it, right? Like, it's a kill spell. It's like a flunk. Yeah, I think it's cool. Different thing that it cares about. Emancipation, okay, is a 4-mana green instant. It says destroy target enchantment, okay, and it has basic land cycling. I like the, like, specific cyclings that aren't just, like, cycling where you draw a card, but actually being, like, search for a card. Makes cycling so much more interesting when you turn a cycle into a tutor. Where's green? There's green. Jace Beleren is a 1-mana 1/1 fairy. Whenever Jace Beleren deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. When Jace Beleren dies, draw a card. So silly. Aether Flux is a 1-mana red instant. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Return up to X target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. X is the number of 1/1 counters on creatures you control. This card is super interesting design. Look at that. Put an X 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Then X becomes the number of counters on creatures you control. X target creature cards. If this had, like, cared about, like, it was like X mana value or something, like total mana value of X or less, that would be a really interesting design. Here it's just super busted. What a great card. Tattermung Scrapper is a 1-mana 1/1 Goblin Warrior. When Tattermung Scrapper enters the battlefield, return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, cool. Are there any artifacts in this set? I don't know if there are. I feel like I haven't seen any. Zendikar Invoker is a 3-mana Dwarf Shaman. Tap, target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Not very good. I'm just going to put you over here, even though you're not actually useless. Sapperling Familiar, 4 mana, 3/2, fungus. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That's great. That's so good. Green is looking really good in this set right now. Divine Oration, 2 mana instant, exile target attacking or blocking creature. Okay. Renounce any number of permanents. Oh, I thought I cut this card because I don't know what renounce means. Oh, it's renounce any number. So you're allowed to renounce, you just can't renounce. You have to renounce 0 because we don't know what renouncing does. Great. Merfolk Envoy, 1 mana, 1/1 Merfolk Shaman. When Merfolk Envoy enters the battlefield, return up to 1 target creature you control to its owner's hand. It's you control, right? Yeah. Useless. Seagate Portal Mage. Ooh, that's a cool picture. 5 mana, 3/3. It is a vanilla creature. Merit Lodge Haunted Ship is a 2 mana, 2/2 Merfolk Wizard with Death Touch. Okay. When Merit Lodge Haunted Ship enters the battlefield, exile a creature you control. Okay. If you do, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Oh, sweet! It's like a blink. Nice. Love that. That's a great card. So B, you are with us now. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm having trouble. Sorry, television is running very slow, and I'm not sure why.
Oh, you look fine to me. Yeah?
It's very choppy on my end.
All right. Well, hopefully that balances itself out. Good luck. Thought Smashing is a 2 mana black sorcery. Target player reveals their hand. You choose a non-land from it. That player discards that card. Cool. Classic. Furious Rise is a 2 mana instant. Target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn. Fateful Hour. If you have 5 or less life, return Furious Rise from your graveyard to your hand. I don't actually know how this would work. I think that's not like a passive effect that's like always going on. Like, if this is in your graveyard and you have 5 life, you just get it back for free. That's what I'd like to think this ability does, but if I look, Fateful Hour is a real mechanic, and all it does is add extra text to a card, right? So this card should read, target creature gets +3/+0 until end of turn. If you have 5 or less life, return Furious Ray from your graveyard to your hand, which would mean that it would whiff because it's not in your graveyard, right? That's my understanding. I could be wrong. I'm not a judge. Which makes it not super great, but yeah, might be playable. We'll put it in playable pile. Fateful Embrace. Sorry, I had to check something. Fateful Embrace is a 3 mana instant. You may exile a creature card from your graveyard. Okay. Return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, that's just return a creature from the graveyard to your battlefield because it's a May ability on the exile part. Okay. I mean, the exile could be relevant, I want to point out, because it's an instant. So if my opponent played a resurrection spell, I could instant speed exile their resurrection target. So it's actually kind of a cool ability. Then again, I could also return the resurrection target to the graveyard, from the graveyard to the battlefield myself, and it would also cause the spell to fizzle, I'm pretty sure. So it's got fringe use case, but it's not completely irrelevant. Blinking Riverfish is a 4 mana merfolk. It's a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, put a counter on up to 1 target merfolk. So at minimum, it's a 3/3 for 4. At maximum, it's like a 2/2 for 4 that puts a 1/1 counter on, like, I don't know how good merfolk are, because it has to be a merfolk. Seems bad. Seems bad to me. Merfolk Replica is a 3 mana 2/2. When Merfolk Replica enters the battlefield, draw a card. Okay, that's fine. Frost Harvester is a 2 mana 2/2 Merfolk Rogue. Whenever Frost Harvester deals combat damage to a player, exile that many cards from your graveyard. So that's bad. And then it has Morph. Brass Briar's Defiance is a 2-mana instant. Tap up to 2 target creatures. Okay, those creatures don't untap. Okay, so it's a freeze. Yeah, okay. Spectral Demolition is a 1-mana instant. Spectral Demolition deals 1 damage to any target. If you have no cards in hand, instead exile a red card from your hand. So it's a 1-mana, 1 damage spell that if it's the last card in your hand when you cast it, it does nothing instead, because it's an instead. So that's effectively a nothing spell. Well, that's not, I mean, it's effectively nothing if you have nothing. I think that there's potential that you're going to want to run a 1-mana, 1 damage spell, but seems unlikely to me. Seek the Wayfarer is a 3-mana creature human wizard. 2/2. I don't know why I said it that way. When you cast your first instant sorcery spell during your main phase, draw a card. Ooh, I like that. That's fun. Merfolk Evasive Action is a 3-mana Merfolk wizard. 2/2. Has flash. You may pay blue any number of times, so like 0 times, I guess, to return Merfolk Evasive Action to its owner's hand. That's a weird way of wording that, but I guess it's legal. And it's a flash creature. So if you wanted to, I suppose you could, like, spend 3 to put it on the battlefield, block something, and then return it to your hand so it doesn't die. Huh. If that spell existed, if there was a spell that was just, like, instant 3-mana, target creature becomes blocked for this, you know, like for this, or like maybe it would be something like, 3-mana instant speed. Create a 0/1 creature token, Merfolk creature token, sure. That is blocking, or maybe not even blocking. Maybe you do it as like a create like an illusion that goes away at the end of combat or something, and then also the card says like put this spell back into your hand or something like that. So it's an infinite use case 3-mana block something spell. I think that has potential. I can see that being good. The question is, would that be broken? I guess is what I want. Anyway, whatever. Interesting spell. I actually think that's a really, really interesting spell. I'm getting distracted. I gotta go faster than this. Cathar's Reward is a 2-mana instant. Destroy all lands. Then create a 1/1 white human cleric creature token. It's an instant. Okay. Pivot of Power is a 1-mana instant. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. Okay. Put any number of them into your graveyard and the rest back on top. I think that's a real spell. I can't remember what it's called, but I think I remember that being a real spell from, like, Innistrad, maybe? Cool. Braided Bandage is a 2-mana instant. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains banding until end of turn. And then what follows is an actual correct description of banding. Despite how many times the AI gets reminder text wrong, this is an actual correct description of banding here. Any creatures with banding and up to 1 without can attack in a ban. Bans are blocked. As a group, if any creature with banding you control... If any creatures with banding you control are blocking or being blocked by a creature, you divide that creature's combat damage, not its controller, among any of the creatures it's being blocked by or is blocking. I think this spell actually has kind of some potential. Like, that's a really... I wonder if they ever printed that, actually, now that I think about it. Like, I don't know back when banding was a real thing, but, like, the idea of banding as an instant speed combat trick... I could see that being really interesting. Someone's like, great, I'm going to attack with this thing. I'm going to attack with my 3/3, and you only have 2 2/2s. What are you going to do? Are you going to block my 3/3 with your 2/2, and then you're like, actually, I'm going to band my 2/2/2s together, and they're going to both block it. And they kill you. Yay. That didn't matter. What? Your description didn't matter, Darcy. What do you mean? Well, there's 2/2/2s, right? Yeah. So if one of them blocked it, I mean if they both blocked, the 3 damage would be split, killing one of the 2/2s and then damaging the other. And instead, if you get to split the damage between the two of them, it's still gonna do that because it's 3 damage coming through. Oh. So if it was like a 2/2 and I had like 2 1/2s or something. Yeah, sure. Anyway, this is not relevant. Falcon Wrath Battle Gear is a 2-mana 2/2 Kithkin with Vigilance. It can't be blocked. It can't be the target of spells your opponents control. And all creatures you control get +1/+1. This card's... Wow, okay. Great. Love that. The Agoraphobic Giant is a 5-mana 4/3. When it enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to any target. I don't know if that's good enough or not, but it's cool. Green Weaver Ogre is a 3-mana 3/3 Ogre Warrior. When Green Weaver Ogre or another green creature you control dies, draw a card. Cool. That is black-green. I think I might want to go black-green, actually. Black-green's like been appealing to me so far. Blue's also pretty good. I could do like a black, like a green-blue maybe. Damir Shambler is a 3-mana Ogre Shaman. It's a 2/3. Whenever Damir Shambler deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice it. That's not good. If you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay! Oh, that's actually really cool. So, it hits face for 2. It dies and gets replaced by another thing from your graveyard. And then you can also escape it for 3 and 3 cards from your graveyard being exiled to do it again. Oh, that's actually a really cool card. Oh, I like that. Perrin Heir to Grey Pelt is a 1-mana 1/1 human soldier. Tap, target dwarf creature gets +0/+2 until end of turn. Activate only once each turn. I'm pretty sure blue and black are the ones that have the fewest number of cards, but I kind of want to do blue-black. Wind's Reap is a 1-mana 1/1 flyer. It's a merfolk. When Wind's Reap can't be blocked, except by creatures with flying. Okay. Flying. Super flying. Reach can't get this. Got it. When it enters the battlefield, sacrifice unless you pay 1 for each creature it's blocking. Well, that would be 0. It wouldn't be blocking anything. Taste of Eternity is a 2-mana instant. Draw a card for each attacking creature. That is cool. Okay, I like that. Druva's Defiance is a 4-mana instant. Choose 1. Counter target creature spell. Okay. Return target creature spell from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, creature card, sorry. Okay. Target player gains 3 life. Okay. Yeah. Thopter Spy is a 2-mana Kithkin soldier. Ooh, I kind of want to do Kithkins too. That'd be fun. Kithkin Spy can't be blocked except for creatures with power 3 or less. Okay. Gets in under their defenses. Love it. It's a spy. If an opponent would create a 2/2 creature token, they create a 1/1 creature token instead. I'm pretty sure by the rules of Magic, this wording doesn't work properly. It should be like a 1/1 creature token of the same type and color or something, but that's just funny. I just think that's so funny. I don't even know if it, do you think, are there 2/2 creature tokens in the set? I don't know. But it's such an interesting idea. Yeah, just make one that's smaller. It just makes a smaller one. It's really funny. Abzan Sentinel is a 2-mana 1/2. Abzan Sentinel enters the battlefield tapped. When Abzan Sentinel enters the battlefield, choose 1. Put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Okay. You may search your library for a card named Abzan Lieutenant. Reveal it, then shuffle and put that card on top. Abzan Lieutenant is not in the set, unfortunately. Still a pretty cool card, though. Solid Ground is a 1 mana red instant. Tap all creatures your opponents control. Okay. Those creatures don't untap during their controller's untap steps this turn. So, it basically just taps down the board for 1 turn. But that's okay. That's still useful. It's a whole board. Merfolk Battlemaster is a 4 mana 3/3. It's a Merfolk soldier. When it attacks, put a 1/1 counter on each Merfolk. Ooh, we got a Merfolk tribal payoff. Okay. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have each Merfolk you control gain indestructible. What? Oh, do I have to go Merfolks now? Holy crap, that's good. Dispatch is a 3 mana instant. Exile up to 2 target creatures you don't control. That's pretty good. Those creatures attack this turn if able. They can't. Rebound. Holy crap. Wow. Okay. I mean, I guess this is why you usually don't get 140 cards, because I want to play every color right now. Alright. Boomshaker Shaman is a 2 mana 2/2. Whenever Boomshaker Shaman deals combat damage to a player, if you control a green permanent, Boomshaker Shaman deals 2 damage to that player. It's actually it's another payoff for Gruul, which is interesting, as not a color combo that I encouraged the AI to come up with. That's fun. That's cool. I like that. Slag Crawl Garrison is a 1 mana 1/1 Dwarf Artificer. ETB, return a land you control. Jeweled Fairies is a 2 mana 1/1 fairy. It has flying. Okay. Tap to choose one. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. It can't be blocked by creatures with flying. That is also true. I feel like the reminder text is just like, don't forget, you also can't be blocked by creatures with flying. That's my reading. Or just counter target spell. Just like on board, tap to counter spell. Ah, beautiful. Keen Sight Gull is a 3 mana 2/2. It's a Merfolk. Whenever you cast a creature spell, look at the top 4 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the rest. I think I'm going Merfolks. I think I'm going green, blue, Merfolks. Maybe some black, because I like black. Or maybe I'm just going green, black, and Merfolks. Most Merfolks seem to be green that I've opened for some reason. I guess we'll find out. Mysterious Outburst, a 1 mana red instant. Counter target instant or sorcery spell. Okay. Its controller may search the library for a basic land and put it onto the battlefield tapped and shuffle. Okay. Cool. I'm into that. It's like a kind of a cool way of like giving a color that usually doesn't have counter spells. I don't know why. Like, that would be an interesting like green counter spell, I think. Right? Like you turn their spell into a forest. That could be kind of cool. Kinsbale Priest is a 4 mana 2/3. When it enters the battlefield tapped, it does enter the battlefield tapped. Whenever a Merfolk you control deals combat damage to a player, return that Merfolk to its owner's hand. I don't think that's... Girapur Elves is a 1 mana 1/1. It's a Kithkin, not an elf. When Girapur Elves enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control. Okay, it's 1 mana 2/2, but it can spread around its 2/2-ness. It's also Kithkin. Provoke is a 2 mana instant. Choose one. Counter target artifact spell. Okay. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Okay. Return target artifact you control to its owner's hand. I don't think that's good enough to run, but like, it's not vanilla. It does function. Urborg Inverter is a 4 mana 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls. Dang. Okay. Yeah. That's great. Doomlace's Command is a 2 mana instant. Choose 2. Create a 1/1 white dwarf creature token. Destroy target artifact. You gain 4 life. Yeah. Sigarda's Counselor is a 2 mana Merfolk Wizard to tap to add Simic. Wow, okay. Rad. Yeah, we're definitely going to do green-blue Merfolk. Tragic Slip is a 2 mana instant. Counter target spell. its controller reveals the top 4 cards of their library. For each card they reveal this way, choose a creature card from among them. Those players may play those creatures this turn without paying their mana costs. So, I remember seeing this card and being like, wow, what a terrible counterspell, but I think it's not. I think what it actually means is 2 mana. As an additional cost to cast this spell, you must counter a spell on the stack that you control. And then it says, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. For each card you reveal, choose a creature from among them and put them into... You may cast them for free, right? Like, that's actually really, really powerful. If you're like... I think that's probably worth it. 4 is not a lot of cards, so it might not be great, but ooh, yeah, I think that's really interesting. Volcanic Fury is a 4 mana instant, deals 4 damage to any target. Then it has Retrace. You may cast this card from your graveyard by discarding a land until paying its cost. Sweet. Slaughter Sower is a 3 mana instant. Target creature you control gets +3/+0. Then you can splice onto +1/+1 or +1/+1. As you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you may reveal this card from your hand, pay its splice cost. If you do, add this card's effect to that spell. So again, the question becomes, there is no splice cost. Can I just make all of my instant and sorceries give target creature a +3/+3 until end of turn? And I like to think the answer is yes, but I don't really know. That's debatable. I like the idea of a spell that's just like, here's a card in your hand, and what this card in your hand means is, as long as this card remains in your hand, you just get to have this bonus effect. It's kind of like having a creature that's like, whenever you cast a green, like, cast an instant, X effect happens. I guess the difference is that you can't really deal with this card in your hand very well, right? Which would make it, I guess, overpowered. I guess. Anyway. It's an interesting question of, like, could they print that? And the answer is, like, just make it a creature. And then your opponent can kill the creature and then balance it out. As opposed to forcing you to discard the card or something is the only way to deal with that. Yeah, I guess that's true. Healing of Magan. 3 mana, instant. Choose 1. Destroy all artifacts. You gain 3 life. Target creature gains flying until end of turn. Destroy all artifacts. Darien Frostwielder is a 2 mana instant. Not a creature. Choose 1. Destroy target non-white creature. Okay. Target creature draws 2 cards. Target player, sorry. That's rad. That's a great spell. I really want to go white too. Shadow Merchant is a 3 mana 2/2 shapeshifter. You may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield except it has, whenever this creature enters the battlefield... What? It becomes a 3/3 black beast creature until end of turn. Oh, I remember reading this card when I first went through the set. Yeah, this card's really interesting, right? Because it enters as a copy that has, whenever this creature enters, it becomes a 3/3 black beast creature until end of turn. So what this means is, right, like, you play it, and the turn it comes into play, it's a 3/3 black beast, and then at the end of the turn, that black beast turns into whatever you copied. So it would be more flavorful if it was like 3 mana, 3/3, like, shapeshifter beast thing that, like, it enters as like this black dog that like just sort of prowls around the neighborhood, and then it turns into like a person and punches you in the face. Anyway, I like this card. I think it's cool. I don't know if it's good or not. It's cool though. Merc Strider. Oh, it's everyone's favorite. It's Merc Strider. Is a 5 mana frog beast. It's a 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, you may return a green or blue creature you control to its owner's hand. It's bad, but it's so cute. Into the Fire is a 2 mana instant. Target creature you control deals 2 damage to target creature an opponent controls. Okay. If that creature is red, it deals 3 damage instead. I don't know if this is like if the target creature is red or if the receiving creature, the like, I don't know which creature that means, but I think it's pretty cool. Boon of Wild Growth is a 2 mana instant. Destroy target land you don't control. Overload 3. Oh, wow. I don't think I can play this card. I'm glad B doesn't have it. Boon of Wild Growth. Overload 3. You may cast this spell for its overload cost. If you do, change its text by replacing all instances of target with each. Destroy each land you don't control. If this just said destroy target land, but you could overload it to destroy both players' lands, that would be really interesting. But nope. It specifically says land you don't control, so the overload functions as hoped for. Brutally. Savage Howl is a 2-mana instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature. Sweet! Spirit Flux is a 3-mana instant. You gain 3 life. Okay. That's fun. Did I remember to do this right? Yeah. Presence of Mind is a 2-mana instant. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt this turn by a source of your choice. Cool. Nice. Yeah. Bizarre Brawler is a 3-mana dwarf. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent gains control of target artifact creature you control. So I love treacheries. I think they're very cool. Not really relevant right now, but conceptually I think that's fun. Wall of Skemfar is a 1-mana instant with Defender. It also has Shroud. It's... Wait, what? This card shouldn't have been included in the set. I should have cut this. This spell doesn't do anything. I missed this card somehow. I think I assumed it was a wall with Defender and Shroud, but it's not. Dang. Alright, note to self. This card should be cut from the public version of this set of cards. Oops. Colonian Prowler is a 3-mana Kithkin. When it enters the battlefield, exile a creature you control other than Colonian Prowler. If it would leave the battlefield, exile it instead, putting it anywhere else. Instead of, yeah. That's just bad. Did you say something, B?
I also noticing video chips kind of choppy too. I don't know.
Looks fine to me.
Okay, if you say so. I guess you're starting to see how this later.
Okay. Ludovic's... Let me rearrange a little bit. Ludovic's Seekers is a 2-mana 1/1 goblin. I haven't seen many goblins. When it enters the battlefield, sack it unless you return a land. Okay, let's get rid of you. Mountain Golem. Ooh, some more Golgari. I really want to go Golgari. Mountain Golem is a 3-mana goblin warrior. Mountain spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. That's disappointing. Icebound Merfolk is a 2-mana 2/3 Merfolk. When Icebound Merfolk enters the battlefield, sack it unless you return a land you control to its owner's hand. Ooh. Lava Step Purist is a 4-mana 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with fly. Nice. Other spirits you control get +1/+1. Nice. When it leaves the battlefield, exile all spirits you control. I'm super into that as a design. Just like, these spirits are here for as long as I am. If you kill the summoner first, all the summons go away. Yeah, I'm into that. I don't know if there are... But it gets rid of all spirits. So if you had other sources of spirits, you could really mess yourself up. Armada Interceptor is a 2-mana 2/2 Kithkin Soldier. Okay. Enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures you control. Okay. Yeah. Marrow Visionary. This better be good. 4-mana 3/3. You may play land cards from your graveyard. Awesome. When this enters the battlefield, you may reveal the top 4 cards of your library. If you do, you may cast them without... Holy crap. Yeah, let's go. Dutiful Cadet is a 2-mana Kithkin. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you may have Dutiful Cadet gain indestructible until end of turn. Okay. Sure. Inspired Reaction is a 3-mana instant. Target creature gets +2/+2, gains reach. Oh, nice. Okay. Beachcomber is a 2-mana, 2/1 merfolk. When it becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand. That's interesting. If you block me, I could bounce myself so I don't die, I guess. Huh. It's also a May ability. Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's mostly a 2-mana, 2/1. It's probably just vanilla, but whatever. Flayer's Whim is a 1-mana instant. It's white. Target creature gets blocked. Can't be blocked this turn. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It's probably not good enough, but interesting. Being able to get through for damage, though, is sometimes relevant, so... Armored Volley is a 3-mana instant. Choose one. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. That's good. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Great. Marisi Kithkin is a 2-mana 1/2 Kithkin. It's vanilla, but it is a Kithkin. That might be relevant. Marchesa's Pouncer is a 3-mana Kithkin. It's a 2/2. Whenever a non-token Kithkin you control becomes tapped, you may return that Kithkin to its owner's hand. Okay. Bogart Slinger is a 4-mana 3/3 Goblin Warrior with haste and raid 2. Discard Bogart Slinger. Destroy target non-basic land. Activate only if you attack this turn. I don't know if this is correct, but I would read this as sort of like a channel effect, right? Like, channel is worded like 2 mana and discard this, right? So I think that's actually legit. It's like a weird way of using raid. It's not what raid normally works as, but it's interesting. Militia Armamentnaire. 3-mana 2/3 with Vigilance. Kithkin Soldier. I like that, actually. It's like, yeah. If you're going Kithkins, that sounds like a great way of doing it. Undergrowth Swarm is a 3-mana 3/2 Human Warrior. Weird. Whenever this becomes blocked by a creature, return that creature to its owner's hand. Ooh, that's great, actually. Grim Changeling is a shapeshifter with Changeling. Nice. It's a 2-mana 2/1. Sorry, yeah, it's a 2-mana 2/1. And when it enters the battlefield, target opponent exiles a creature they control. Holy crap, that is rad. That's so good. Pontiff of Rakdos is a 2-mana zombie knight. They're a 2/1 with haste. When they attack, you may sack another creature. If you do, you create a 2/2 knight, a creature token, with menace. Oh, that's rad! Oh, that's so good! Cool. You can escape for 3. And exile 3 cards from your graveyard. Cool. Sentiment Spark Mage is a 2-mana 2/2 dwarf. When it attacks, exile the top card of your library face down. If it's a creature card, put it onto the battlefield under your control. Huh. That's cool. Boreal Oni is a 3-mana 1/1 fairy. When Boreal Oni enters the battlefield, draw a card. Threshold. 7 or more cards are in your graveyard. This has, when Boreal Oni dies, you may exile it. What type of creature is this? It's a fairy? Okay. Stampede is a 1-mana instant. All creatures gain menace until end of turn. That's actually really good. I mean, like, it's just a really cool flavor of, like, what's a stampede? It's just like, get out of the way. You can't block me. I'm going too fast. I like that. I like that design. Halomar Eternal is a 4-mana 3/3 human knight with protection from black. For 1 and tap, create a 1/1 white human creature token. Nice. Madcap Researcher is a 1-mana 1/1 goblin. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a goblin. Hey! Goblin Tutor, Goblin Tutor. Emberheart Imp is a 3-mana 1/2. When it enters the battlefield tapped, whenever Emberheart Imp deals combat damage to a player, exile that many cards from that player's graveyard. Okay. And then it can escape. That doesn't seem worthwhile to me, but okay. Shambling Vector is a 1-mana zombie. 1 mana, discard a card. Target creature gets -1 with mine until end of turn. That's pretty cool. I don't think it's good enough to run, but it's cool. Outcast Dead is a 1-mana human wizard with their 1/1. When it dies, you may exile it. If you do, you search your library for a card, put that card into your hand. That's rad. That's really good. Tokasia Springwalker Prodigy is a 4-mana 1/3 Kithkin soldier. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature. You can only do this once per turn. Cool. Kithkin Sculler is a Kithkin warrior. It's a 1/1 for 1. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you can sack a land. No, you have to sack a land. But you get 2 life. Okay, I've got an actual set of cards here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make a Simic Merfolk deck. And if I don't have enough cards, I will add some other color in. But otherwise, I think that's my goal. That said, there's some really good removal available to me. And I kind of might want to splash into it just because. So let's take a look. You're a Merfolk. Great. It doesn't seem good, but this is like a maybe pile. Alright. Inspired Reaction, +2/+2, gains reach. Could be relevant. You're in the maybe pile. Presence of Mind. Prevent all combat damage. You're in the maybe pile. When Urborg enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent opponent control. Okay, that's removal. When the elves enter the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control. If I want, you'll go into like maybe into Kithkin maybe pile. Keensight Gull is a Merfolk. Okay, 3-mana 2/2. Cast a creature spell. Leave the top 4 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand. Great, love that. That's in. Because I would love to go Kithkins too if possible, but I'll probably have to go wait for that, so I probably won't. 4-mana 3/3. Whenever this attacks, put a 1/1 counter on each Merfolk you control. Holy crap! At the beginning of combat, you also give. That's so good. Okay. Falcon Wrath Battle Gear, 2-mana 2/2 with Vigilance, can't be blocked, and can't be the target of. That's so good. Yeah, no, that goes in regardless. It's not a Merfolk, but whew. When this replica enters the battlefield, draw cards, otherwise a 3-mana 2/2. It's probably good enough, especially if Merfolk Tribal is a thing. 4-mana 3/2, whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Not a Merfolk, but very, very good. Emancipation, 4-mana, destroy target enchantment. Basically inciting. That's probably a no. Let's put that into like, yeah, we're gonna put that in the no pile. Do I have a no pile? There we go. Grave Strength, 4-mana 3/3 with Flash. ETB, return a green or white creature token you control to its owner's hand. Can it target itself? Can I just have it like flash in? But it wouldn't have time to block if I did that. So that would be irrelevant. I think that's in the maybe pile. Moorland Courier is a 3-mana 3/3 Merfolk with Death Touch. Nice. Teferi's Tracker, 1-mana 1/1 Merfolk. Whenever a land enters the battlefield and you control, draw a card. Love it. Calvin Horde Gorger is a 3-mana fungus. Whenever he gets a black spell, okay, it gains Death Touch. I don't think that's good enough. Alright, where was I? Fenscaler Cleric. 1-mana 1/1. Kithkins cost 1 less. So yeah, if we do a Kithkin deck, I would want this. So I'll put that in the Kithkin pile. Nature's Prophet is a 1-mana 1/1 Kithkin. Tap target green creature you control gets +1/+1. Not great, but hey, it's a Kithkin. I'm gonna put that in the I don't care about you pile. Cowl/Horn is a 2-mana instant. Destroy target non-creature permanent you don't control. Its controller creates a 1/1 green fairy creature token. I think that's fun. And actually, I think I take it back with the Nature's Prophet. For 1 mana, being able to just like dib a 1/1 pump every turn seems pretty okay. Cloudcaller Initiate is a 2-mana 2/1 with flying. It's a fairy warrior. Whenever a fairy you control attacks, okay, I don't have a lot of fairies, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land, you may put it onto the battlefield tapped. If you do, return it to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. Right, it just finds you lands. You just reveal the top card of your library, and if it's a land, it goes into your hand next turn, basically. Weird. I feel like I want to put you in, like, maybe, but, like, better than maybe pile. Just a flying. Flying wins games. Yeah, let's just do it for that. Ancient Augur is a 1-mana instant. Search your library for up to 3 green creature cards. Ah! Yes. Inquisitor's Judgment, 3 mana, instant. Choose 1, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 3 creatures. Not bad. Target player mills 3 cards. Probably not relevant. So that's 13 cards already. We're going for more than that, but not by a ton. Tokasia Springwalker Prodigy. It's a Kithkin soldier. These number of Kithkins. 1/1 counter on target creature once per turn. And it's for 4 mana. I'm not sure if that's worth it. Probably is. Sigarda's Counselor is a 2-mana yes! Forgot about that one. That one's great. Druva's Defiance is a 4-mana instant, which is kind of expensive. It can counter target creature spell. Okay. It can return a creature card from the graveyard to my hand. That's the maybe pile. Yeah. Wild Slumber, 3 mana. Return a non-land permanent to its owner's hand, then create a 2/2 green. That's cool. I don't know why it makes a fractal, but like I like the design of like the slumber is knocking it back into the hand. That's cool. Muldaya Hero, 4 mana, 3/4 Merfolk. ETB or attack. Search library for basic land. Beautiful. Caller of the Beak, 3 mana, 3/2 with trample. When it enters the battlefield, return up to 1 other target Merfolk you control to its owner's hand. So this is a 3 mana 3/2 with trample. Especially if you're going Merfolks, I think that's good enough. Now we'll look at our blue cards. Marrow Visionary, 4 mana 3/3, not bad. Oh, this one's amazing. I'm not going to bother reading it all. Tragic Slip, 2 mana, instant, counter target spell. Its controller reveals the top 4 cards of its library. Write this one! Slip into something cool. Let's do it. It's any spell too, yeah. Jeweled Fairies, 2 mana 1/1 with flying. Got it. You can tap it to make something unblockable. Or counter. Wow, that's rad. Cool. We only have room for 3 more cards in here. Draw a card for each attacking creature. That's cool. I don't know if I'm going to have enough attacking creatures though, so we'll put it aside. Wind's Reap is a 1 mana 1/1 flyer. It can't be blocked except for creatures with flying. And enters the battlefield, sack it unless you pay 1 for each creature it's blocking. So it's a 1 mana 1/1 with flying, mega flying because they can't be blocked by creatures with reach, and it's a Merfolk, which is relevant. Pivot of Power is a 1 mana instant. Like the top 5 cards of your library, put any number of them into the graveyard and the rest back atop. I don't think that's good enough. It's fine. It's just not amazing. Merfolk Evasive Action, 3 mana Merfolk Wizard, 2/2 flash. You may pay blue. Put it back into your hand. That's debatable how you should actually rule that, but I think it's pretty rad actually. Seek the Wayfarer, to 22, is a 3 mana human wizard. The first instant sorcery spell you cast in your main phase, draw a card. I like that. I think that's cool. Merit Lodge is a Merfolk wizard. It's a 2 mana 2/2 with Death Touch. Alright, so it's like a flicker thing. If there's any good ETBs, that could be relevant. Jace Beleren is a 1 mana 1/1 with flying. No, not with flying. That is a fairy, I meant to say. I like the extra arm. That's pretty good. Deals combat damage, draw a card. When it dies, draw a card. Great card. Spring and Summer is a 1 blue mana instant. You draw a card, and you can splice it onto Spring Skull, which means as you cast an instant or sorcery, you may reveal this card from your hand and pay its splice cost. Which is nothing, I would argue. But that's debatable. Put that in the debatable pile. Rally the Crawl. 1 mana, target creature gets +2/+0. Create a 1/1 blue Merfolk. I think that's actually good enough to play. Yavimaya Merfolk, 2 mana Merfolk. Tap, target Merfolk you control gets +1/+1. Yeah. Alright, so I don't think we're going to go into our cool Gruul, like Golgari stuff. Another green creature dies, draw a card. Eldrazi Drone. Cool stuff. Whenever a player casts a spell, that player loses 1 life. Whenever a player casts a spell that targets you, draw a card. Why are these in different piles? Odd. Either way, we're looking at 27 cards. I can make some cuts to that, I think. And a good question is, did we end up with enough Kithkins for these Kithkins to go in? One encounter up to one target creature you control. Wait, that's actually just good. Yeah, let's do that. And Kithkins cost one less. I don't think that one's good enough. Okay, cool. All right, I need to make like 5 cuts. That doesn't sound too hard. I think I had like some near vanillas in here actually. That one's necessary. 4 mana, 3/3. That one's rad. Enters, draws a card. That one's a maybe not. Like, we've got a lot of card draw. And it costs a little bit more than vanilla. I don't know how... Death Touch is useful. I'm going to keep the Death Touch. Especially if I can give it indestructible. Whew. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage, draw a card. Non-creature permanent you don't control. I don't really care about destroying land. I'm sure that's a great card, but it's just not my jam. Do I want this? Put you in the maybe pile. Whenever fairy you control attacks, which can be itself. It is a flyer. Yeah, it's a flyer. I can't cut a flyer. Search your library for 3 green cards. That's rad. We'll encounter 3 different things. I think that's cuttable. Counter target spell. This one's so cool. I want to try it. I don't know if it's good enough, but I really want to try it. Flying. Can't be blocked. Creatures with flying. And enters the battlefield. Sacrifice it. Rally the Crowl. +2/+0. Jace. This Kithkin I just added. Merfolk Wizard. Human Wizard. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell during your main phase. How often am I going to do that? Probably never. Go away. That's 23 cards if you ask me. Okay. I just need to import some lands because I haven't done that yet. Let me just quickly do that. Great. I really wanted... There's some really cool cards that I wanted to play in the set, but... Oh well. Nope. Yeah, see? I instinctively grabbed the black because I really wanted to use them. Put those over here for B if she wants those. That reminds me. I just want to quickly look through these black cards. When it dies, you may exile. If you do, search your library for a card. Put that card into your hand. Cool. Whenever this attacks, you may sacrifice a creature. If you do, create a 2/2 black knight with menace. Changeling. When this enters the battlefield, target opponent exiles a creature they control. Oh, interesting. They have to choose. I didn't actually catch that. It's like a target opponent sacrifices effect. Cool. Undergrowth Swarm. 3 mana, 3/2. Becomes blocked by a creature. Return that creature to its owner's hand. Shadow Merchant. 3 mana, 2/2. Enters the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it has whenever the creature enters the battlefield, it becomes a 3/3 black beast creature until end of turn. It's just cool. Damir Shambler, 3 mana, 2/3. When it deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice it. If you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Like, that's so cool. Fateful Embrace, 3 mana. You may exile a creature card from your graveyard. Return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Love a resurrection. Thought Smashing is a 2 mana sorcery. Target player reveals their hand, discards a card. Purglet, 2 mana, devoid. Choose a color. Target creature gets -X equal to the number of creatures that color that player controls. I guess it would be that creature's owner, technically. Controller, I guess would be. Smoldering Cinder is a 3 mana fairy soldier. When it dies, it causes each player to discard a card, but then you can disturb it for 2 to bring it back. Carrion Feast is a 3-mana instant. You gain life equal to the number of black creatures you control. And you also create a 1/1 black goblin creature token. Then return Carrion Feast from your graveyard to your hand. So cool. We will not be seeing them today.